I told them okay. Community gathering is a great charge of the documentation and the founder of Mayflower School. On Sunday, National Army will gather everyone in my vessel. Pray to us about the essence of life. Any topic at all will talk to us, and there will always be opportunity for you to ask anything that is not clear to you. Many times also, we will bring people that have achieved, people that are movers of the society, like people who call them great minds that will motivate us, people that will inspire, that will draw inspiration in students. I want to be like this person. We bring them, next doctor, people that have excelled in their chosen field. We bring them to address us back then. And so we used to enjoy the community gathering on the same, and then our friends Like this morning, you are very lucky. We have in our midst, and next week, it's not his first time. I think we've been here about twice, but right? He's a known figure. I'm surprised you are just looking at, him. You don't know the person that is in your midst. If you don't know, you don't know. It's poverty of FDA. And the senior prefect during the process. Fola Daniel. On TV shows. Yes, it's a life coach. She's a motivator. Your life coach. Not like that. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know why this is working. Because when I was I tried it. But he's telling me now that Father, we go. As I want to bring to the podium, FDA
Come on. Thank you very much, sir. Please, for all of you, come on, give yourselves a round of applause. Right. As you've been told by Ms. Fola Daniel at DNC, Senior Prefect 2002-2003, student number 11763. So, it's an absolute pleasure to be with all of you this morning. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to be talking to you about turning into achievable plans. Now, the reason I'm going to be talking to you about turning your dreams into achievable plans is that I was once in this place. And as a student in this place, I can tell you that it wasn't easy. That's why when I came in and I heard things like, what was that song that I asked, how much time do they have left that they are singing, We Shall Soon Be Free. When we came into, we started singing We Shall Soon Be Free from GSS 1. We sang it for 6 years before we became free. So you don't have a choice. So for those of you in GS1 and GS2 singing We Shall Soon Be Free, you still have a long journey to go. And those of you in SS3, congratulations. And I heard you guys singing. You don't have a choice. You will eat it for 6 years. That's how it was in the beginning. So shall it continue to be, all without end. The identity of Mayflower School is Ewa. And God not separate Ewa from Mayflower School. are the things that you can, those are the things you can separate from. And we get out of the business and people say, I ate beans for 6 straight years. And say, wow. And they, let's come back to turning your dreams into achievable plans. I'd like you to give me your utmost attention and listen carefully. I'll tell you a bit of what I hear that I think we can use to become a better. When I hear this, all right, unfortunately, you guys don't know what it is. So in my own days, we used to have what we call pepper field. And the pepper field was actually a field here in the school where we planted and harvested pepper. However, what the students saw pepper field was not the pepper field of the farm. What we call pepper field was the result more F's than A's and C's and B's. So because your result is in red and the color of pepper is what we call pepper field. So when I got into the school from GS1, GS2, and early GS3, my result was pepper field. And somehow I realized that to stay from GS3 to SS1, I needed to be serious. Before, of course, you repeat GS3, all of that, and when we got to our set, they started threatening us. You can't repeat it. Just know that if you don't do well, you have to repeat. Then we all got serious so that we can pass. And thankfully, I passed all my papers GS3 to get in one. And that's how I'm doing. So I passed the paper field. And after passing to get into SS1, I became and returned to paper field. Because I wasn't serious and I returned to paper field, I failed woefully in SS1, and then I was asked to repeat. Now, one of the reasons I also like to tell you this story is that you know, just in if you're in a class or you think you're not doing too well, or those who have been in your situation, in this same hall that you're sitting today, I was asked to invite my parents for one of the sessions when I had more than 5 F9s. And I was standing somewhere at the back there. Of course, my parents didn't show up. They sent a representative. You know, as they say, failure does not have parents. It is success that has parents. When you succeed, people come and they like you. Everybody wants to be a part of what you're doing. But when you're failing, nobody wants to stay with you. Is that correct? Yeah. So somewhere at the back of that hall, I still remember very well. Of course, my name is Adlisi, so my WAEC number ended with 035. I was like 2 rows away from that entrance during my WAEC. But before we got to WAEC, somewhere around there, our school stood on this stage, spoke with our parents, lambasted with all the words you can imagine. Why? Because my result was pepper field. But that's what happened after I was invited to this same hall because my result was pepper field. About a year and a half down the road, I came back into this same hall, and in this same hall, I got an award during prize giving day on this same stage for being the best literature student. And in that same year, when I became the best literature student, I had already become the senior prefect of the school. And at the time when I was senior prefect of the school, I was representing the school in all debates competition, impromptu speeches, and also a dramatization of poetry. And now become so good, not only within Mayflower, to the point that when we went for competitions, Federal Government Girls College, Shagamu, Federal Government College, Odogbolu, Ijebu Grammar School, also known as JOGS, all the schools in the Remo and Ijebu environs had become so famous that they say, watch out for this guy. I think he's their senior prefect. All our places, but we want most of them. But this this was the same guy in this hall for what? Paper period. He came back into this same hall because he had now become the best student in literature, the senior prefect, and also winning multiple prizes. So how did I turn that around? From being invited into the same hall, being invited on stage multiple times. Because of course what we used to do, I don't know if you still do that. When we went for competitions in those days and you won prizes, you were invited to the stage, presented on stage. Even if you didn't know about all the other ones, another one that I can tell you confidently, if they have their results, you can, or if they have their records, you can still go back and check. I participated in Erike debates, and of course Mayflower won it clearly. Wow. But before then, they have been abusing us, even though the biggest school and the smartest guys and the most intelligent guys. Some people say, "Oh, Erike debates, we've been beating you before. We're going to in our own time." And we got there, we beat them, asked them. There's something that happened, and I'm telling you all of this. First of all, to remind you that no matter what your academic status is right now, you can turn it around. You can do what? Turn it around. So if I was having poor results, and I'm saying extremely poor results, and all of a sudden I began to study and began to succeed, and today I'm not only doing well. Imagine the person that used to fail English language and math. Of course, to repeat a class, you have to have failed English and mathematics, right? But that same person that failed English and mathematics and was asked to repeat a class today is an author of more than 25 published books. And online, they are able to be verified. But how did I go from that level to this stage? Here's one thing I'm going to tell you. Number one thing you must do is use affirmation. Use what? Affirmation. The affirmation is you talking to yourself. Affirmation is you reassuring yourself that you can do well, that you can do better, you can get better grades, you can get better results. Affirmation is you talking to yourself and say, it doesn't matter what other people say about me, I am not that thing so long as it's not good. I can be far better than that. I wish some of our teachers knew better. Listen, the fact that a teacher calls you $1 does not mean you're $1. It is the problem. The teacher is the one who doesn't know how to work with you. There are some people who are audio-visually inclined. What does that mean? They learn by seeing and hearing things. But unfortunately, most of our academic systems would only teach you things, so you only hear. However, there are some of you, the way you learn is that you see and you hear. There are some of you, you just need to hear, and that's it, you already know. Some of you, what you're trying to learn needs to be repeated to you multiple times. As long as it's repeated to you, you remember it. You just haven't found your learning pattern. None of you is dull. What did I say? Come on, I say, what did I say? None of you is dull. And I can tell you that because I used to be categorized as one of the dull students. But by the time I got to SS3, I wasn't only referred to as a brilliant student, I was so good that if my colleagues wanted to check the meaning of the words, they didn't go to dictionary, they came to me. And they would ask me, what's the meaning of this word? And offhand, I would tell them. And sometimes when I wanted to intimidate them, I would use some big words. For example, I can answer you today and see you will be discombobulated. But my intention is not to have you discombobulated or mesmerize you. That's not what I've come to do today. My intention is to tell you how to turn your dreams into what? Achievable plans. And I said, number one thing you have to do is what? Give you an example of affirmation. Example, um, your results are not good. I'm not a failure. I'm a success. I can succeed at anything I do. I can make it happen. If it has not been done, I can be the first to do it. Everything that has been done, somebody did it first. So I too can be the first. You can say it is impossible, but not with me. I might do it. That's an example of affirmation. No, I'm not asking you to say that. I'm telling you that's an example of affirmation. And do you know why the affirmation is very important? Affirmation is important because your brain believes what you tell it. What did I say? Your brain believes what you tell it. If you don't tell yourself that you are good, then you don't believe it. Your brain no, then it becomes a fact that you are good. Until you start saying it to yourself, it is an opinion, not a fact. When you say I can, you are right. And when you say I cannot, you are also right. The moment you say I can't do this thing, for example, you're writing work, you're writing maybe 8 or 9 subjects or even more, and you say I can make all 8 A's. Now somebody will think, oh, is that even possible? It's possible. In our own set, before they introduced, in those days there used to be A's and B's and C's. So depending on your grade, some people will score A1. In fact, there was A1 asterisk for you to know that this A1 is not just A1, is an A in the class of A that supersedes all A's. So there was A asterisk. And in those days, some of the best and the most brilliant students in Mayflower School will compete talking about how many A's they got from WAEC. And that was our pride. Somebody who has 7 A's, 8 A's, 9 A's. That's how we live. So some of us that were coming from behind, even though we didn't get all the A's, but of course, you remember I said my result used to be what? Pepperfield. And so from coming from Pepperfield and eventually coming to make at least I in economics, maybe because I like money, and maybe because I'm an Indian woman. So I made an A in economics, and then I passed all the other subjects I needed to get into the university. Thank you. And I only sat for WAEC once. Until date, apart from my WAEC result, I've not had cause to present any other result for anything. So that's the same student that used to fail. And that same student that used to fail that got to the point of using just one result to get into the university to do the things that I'm doing today. So I'm here to remind you that you can do it. You can have those things of becoming a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, a nurse, whatever it is that you on the song, you can become whatever you choose to be. Okay, says me, we believe that man is potential, lawyer, cook, draft, or giants, whichever he sets his mind to be 1, 2, 3, we shall be giants, and therefore we shall work and work and work and work. Even if we must work our fingers so many. Now, that's also a song of affirmation that whatever you set your mind to, you can do. So the affirmation, the next thing you will now do is what? Study hard. Study hard. When it is time to study, you study like you never play. There is no secret to this thing other than what? Study hard. But the reason I started with affirmation is that if affirmation shuts your mind, no matter how hard you study, your mind already decided that you are a failure. Even if I've been failing before, from today, as I study, I understand. As I study, I'm not walking into the exam hall to forget. From today, every exam is a wrong path. You affirm yourself. Have you ever experienced situations where you want to write an exam and all of a sudden you become afraid? Has it happened? And have you also experienced situations where some of those exams you were afraid of, it turned out that you passed them? Yes. So you need to know that sometimes, as they say, fear is false evidence appearing real. But one of the things you can do is do an affirmation before you walk into the. Some of you have challenges with studying, correct? Sometimes you say you read and you don't understand. Now, if you're reading and you don't understand, there are a number of things you can do. Number one that you can do is have some other friends that are doing it. That are reading and you understand. And friends that are reading and are understanding the thing. And anybody who is better than you academically, that person should be your friend, not your enemy. You know, sometimes you come into the prize giving hall and they call mathematics, so and so, English, so and so, geography, so and so, biology. And some of you now this enemy. Is he the only one or is she the only one? That should not be your attitude. If somebody is said to be the best student in class, what do you do to that person? Because the person is made by fire by force. Move with the people who are succeeding. Move with the people who are doing what? Succeeding. Those are the people you move with. Because that's one of the secrets that I used. You know, I told you about how I got from S3 to SS1, right? My results were so good that I wanted to go to the arts class, but the vice president of the school then said, no, how can you want to go to the class? They threw me into commercial class. But me too, I was very smart. I knew that I was weak in accounting. So since I knew I was weak in accounting, by the time I got to SS2, I dropped accounting. It means I took my risk. But you see, those 8 subjects that I was very, very smart. I knew the courses that could spoil my WAEC results, I took them out. I knew accounting could spoil my WAEC result, I struck it out. When I was about to write JAM, I wrote JAM at 205. Now you may not shout about when we were writing JAM as a first timer, and to write JAM as 205 at a single sitting, you to the ground. If you don't praise me, I'll praise myself. Just imagine, you think JAM is hard, right? How many people think JAM is hard? So imagine how hard it must have been from 23 years ago or 23 years ago. So let me tell you my secret. I looked at the course I wanted to study. I looked at all the courses where I'm really good. And I decided these are the courses that I'm going to do when it comes to JAM. So I was very good at English language. English literature was also my best subject. So I picked English language, English literature. Government was a walk in the park for me. So I picked government, and I was very sound in Yoruba. So I used Yoruba to support it. So when I got into JAM is not really, sometimes JAM is not more of your intelligence, it's about your time. That's what I'm saying. You can fail JAM, not because you don't know it, but because you don't manage your time effectively. I picked all the courses that would be easy for me. That's how I passed it. So you have the opportunity to decide which one you want to do, which one you don't. Number one is to find. Number four, don't always wait till last minute to study. Don't always do what? If you are always waiting till the last minute to study, you become a challenge. Too much study. Writing, you're gonna when is WAEC starting? April, right? If you haven't started, no, of course practicals will start in April before the real papers start in May. If you haven't started studying right now, it's already a bit late. So you better start today and do it well. And if you're studying, one of the other things you can do is do Go to people who know. So I can assure you that those exams that seem impossible, that seem difficult, there is always a secret to all the questions. You know, just like they will teach you, they will give you examples, then they will say, go and solve this problem, right? Stop cramming answers. Start focusing on the principles. Stop doing what? Cramming answers. Start focusing on the principles. When you focus on the principles, you will be able to solve any problem by yourself. So one of the biggest challenges we had in our data was that we're always focusing on answers. So on a daily basis, make sure you study. On a daily basis, make sure you do what? Study. Do you still do your silent hour period? And you still do your night preps, right? Take them seriously. Make the most of them. With them. I assure you that if you do some of these things, as a living proof standing right in front of you, you can become a what? Success. So I'm not telling you what I have not done. Of course, you know we've been through this phase before. So make sure you take your daily study seriously. Once you don't understand anything, go to your teachers, go to your friends. I know in my own days, we've always been doing, this home lesson or extra lesson. We go to teachers, have some teachers get paid so that they can teach us extra lesson. In my own day, my father will not pay to do anything extra. Yes, how second one introduced the teacher to us, and I'm sure that my will know the teacher, Mr. Ikenne. And he came into our class smiling. And I said to myself, if this teacher is smiling like this, he must be a really good teacher. I introduced him as our English. I picked my pen, I picked my paper, wrote an essay, and I went to go and present to him. At that time, too, we also had Mr. Tete. I presented them, and I make our essays was writing consistently and still my essays to them. Now, the people who were paying them for home lesson or extra lesson, they don't know what they were doing. But on my own, nobody. And they began to revise and mark. The happiest day of my life was when I took one of my essays to Mr. Okeke and he had nothing to correct. Meaning that I had become so good that I was writing and there was nothing to correct. And that's how I improved my written English, and of course my spoken English became so. I will start. How do you think? I don't know. Do you still contest? How much is the nomination for this day? It's not much now compared to no. When you look at the number of years, inflation is 23 years. So it's still manageable. I used the last 100 naira in my pocket nomination for campaign, a lot of songs, and I will stand on stage. Of course, at the time, maybe I was 4,000 students. Yes, over 4,000 students, and stand on there in front of them and speak boldly. But how did I become better? I took my essay to one of my teachers. He began to mark, and that's how I improved my written English. So much so that passing English in life was easy peasy. Say easy peasy. And what I've done, turn my dreams into reality. So that's why I'm talking to you today about turning your dreams into achievable plan. So your number one plan again is what? Affirmation. Number two plan is what? Your number three plan, go to people who are better than you. And this is your last one, go to teachers that can, your teachers are willing to help. And you know why your teachers will be willing to help? When your WAEC results come out, or sometimes when your result comes out, you may not know. The management is always questioning teachers when students don't perform well. Teachers perform well. No matter how hard they want you to perform well. So at this point, I won't say too much again. I believe that you've made some sense out of what I said so far. So I just want to wait for maybe a few questions and then we'll take it from there. Have you learned anything new? Have you gained something? So one of the things I'll give you as take home is that you go back to your hostels or your dormitories, go and write your affirmation. Go and do what? Write your affirmation. And the beauty of affirmation is that you can write whatever you want there. I've given you some. I will make at a single sitting. I will not be combining results here and there. I'm going to do this and get it right. So those are the things that you can do. Make sure you do not write your affirmation. I'm sure that those of you who have been getting pepperfuge like I used to, from today, if you do some of these things, you certainly can become better. Thank you and God. I'll take a few questions. Anyone with any question? Questions? No questions, right? The question. Okay, let me have your question quickly. You need to quiet. You need to speak up. In terms of humiliation, now one is who? Humiliation from who? Students or teachers? People around you, students. Now, what you have to do is to first of all become firm and stand your ground. If anybody tries to humiliate you or bully you, you better one person. Let this be the last time. To bully you. It will continue until you stop them. What did I say? It will continue until you stop them. And I've noticed something about bullies as well. You see, bullies are people who are insecure, trying to make you look like they are confident. But the day you turn against them, it's let them nearly a year to borrow in your life. If you fight again, guess what? Those bullies usually stop. You know why the bullies stop? The first thing is that they weren't expecting you to speak up like that. The day you speak up and turn to a bully, and if you dare it again, just try me. Then the second thing, right? The second thing you can do if you can't handle it yourself is to make authority to the school. There's no reason for anybody to want to humiliate you. And let me also say to every one of you, if you are one of those mocking other people, stop it. Because when you mock others, you don't know what you're doing to them. Mock people, what you're doing is an emotional damage. And sometimes some people may not recover. So when you mock people, you are responsible for destroying the lives of other people. Did you know what I said? When you mock people, you are a life destroyer. Are you a life destroyer? So don't mock people, don't intimidate anyone, and don't bully anyone. But more importantly, report any act of bullying or anyone consistently humiliating you. But start by warning them. Stand up to them. Even let the person be as tall as being a Goliath. It was a single stone that brought down Goliath. So if I can be this small, but you don't find out what I can do to you. Is that okay? All right. Any other question? Any other question? All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Those people who are timid. She was asking questions about how I stood in front of the crowd when I was contesting. Now, if you are one of the things you have to do to gradually start standing in front of small groups. Start with a group of 5. Start with a group of 10. Increase to a group of 20. In your dormitory, how many are you in the room? Sorry? 30 something. Your own dormitories are quite small. In my own, about 50 is good. Of course, you know that Mayflower Private School used to be our hostel, right? No, Mayflower Private School used to be our hostel. Imagine all those long blocks, as long as they are. Each one was a dormitory. I was in a dormitory called B3 down in those days. As we say, once it come into the middle of the dormitory and say, you can just what you are doing is that you are gradually building your confidence level. You can't stand in front of 150 people and not build your confidence level. For example, you're doing community to answer to ask a question. You just stood in front of people to talk about another class. So that's part of it. Be bold. Keep doing that. And the more you do it, the better it gets, the easier it becomes. One of the things that can increase write down what you want to say. Because sometimes people have a tendency to forget. But when you short notes written, you can look at your notes and remember what you want to say. So that's one of the ways to improve your confidence level. But you have to become confident by doing it. You don't by sitting at home or sitting in your hostel or staying laid back. No. The way to become confident is to start doing it. Thank you so much.
I said he speaks well. Did I fail you? He spoke for ability. Yes. When I said he's a great motivator before he came up. And when he came up, did he fail you? No, sir. I'm sure your spirits are lifted now. Yes, sir. One thing I didn't tell you is that FDA is also a prophet. He's a pastor. And this podium, this platform, on which I spoke this morning, was invented by somebody people who say they don't know God. They will say traditionally they don't believe in God. But he created a platform where people reach out to younger generations. And I'm sure what you had today was not devilish. What you had for good. Was it devilish? Was it? Godly or devilish? Godly. Positive or negative? Positive. And so the community gathering is a positive platform. I want us to give a round of applause for every